We don't take it for granted. We don't take it for granted. It's nice to have you. I feel like I'm trying to remember like the first time I heard your music or heard of your name, and I think for me, I felt like I was late. Like I was like, wait, this is dope. Like what the fuck? But then I heard like I have a friend called Dougie.
Okay.
Dougie used to do used to do a show called like Story Clips or something. So they interviewed you. With Cami. I think her name is Cami. So I saw that, but then I didn't like dig deeper. But then I think I saw Nairobi Sonic or someone like I saw different. I started seeing Flier. Then I'm like, okay, what's this Flier thing about? Let me get deeper. Yeah. And like for me, when I guess how for the longest time I've described your music has been what Kenya sounds like. Like if someone was to ask, like, yo, what is it like in Kenya, or what does it sound like? I'd be like, listen to Flier. Like Flier describes Kenya, according to me. Like listening to your music describes Kenya. And like I'd say other people who've done that in the past would be like, there's a time like Chris Kaiga was like, yo, it's like Chris Kaiga's vibe was what everybody was vibing to. But then also just different times, but like I feel like your music is very authentic, it's very different. So very much big fans of your music over here. I was just like, wait, you always drop very randomly. Like you just drop booms. Like, wait, you dropped?
Yeah.
But I guess I'd want to get to know you from the beginning of music and like I guess how this started out for you. But I guess what's your real name?
My real name is Fly. I'm playing like I think like I've always been interested in like MCs like Doom. You know? Okay. When he takes on this persona, he's Doom. Like there's no like, oh, so what's your whatever. Okay. This is who he is. Like he's him. I don't have a mask, but that's like the thing about, because whoever I am in real life is very different from what I am like musically. Okay. And I find like every time I try to take my personal stuff into music, then I think about so many things. I think about my neighbors. I think about my the people around me. What are they going to say? And then I feel like that restricts me creatively, because I'm always like, I can't say that because such and such will whatever. Okay.
So can I ask a different question?
Ask away.
When was Flier born?
I think Flier was born. I don't want to be deep and stuff. Like I think he was born a long time ago, but it took me a long time to find him.
Okay.
Like when I started out, my intentions were based on other things. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to make a name for myself, and I wanted to just everything, that attention, and you know.
Yeah.
And then finding Flier was me trying to be like, okay, I want to strip myself. I just want to express myself.
So before you found Flier, did you go by other artist names? Or were you in a group?
I was in, yeah.
Yeah, were you in a group?
Exactly that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was in groups because of just fear of like standing alone.
Okay.
Fear of, I wanted all these things, but then again, I was like, I wasn't confident enough to express myself. So I would be in groups and I would do most of whatever had to be done in the groups. And initially, early on,
how many groups would you say you were in?
Ever since primary school. So I was in a group in primary school. I wasn't confident enough. I would write a rhyme and then give it over to my friends to recite it, whatever. In groups in high school. Then groups after high school. And then after that, then.
So according to me, and I don't know anything about Flier, that's why that's the interview. So I guess according to me, I feel like you sound like you're from the coast a bit, or you sound like, but I guess where did you grow up?
I was born in the coast, raised in the coast for like early years of my life, and then we moved to Nairobi, and then in Nairobi we moved in different patches. Everything you hear when you listen to my music, rather, everything you pick up is everything about me. Like, I try and put everything in it, like my experiences, people have come across. I take on certain personas because, like, they remind me of a specific vibe I'm trying to evoke or something. So yeah, this is me. But then again, like I said, it represents me, but it's not like the ultimate me. So like that's what I'm trying to be, like, separate what I do music in my music life, separate it from my actual life.
So like even like even like randomly, when just in the 5 minutes we interacted before we went on air, I was curious. Like I was gonna ask you, like, what's your 9 to 5? But I feel like now I can't ask you that because it's
I can tell you, like that's easy. Like,
okay,
I'm a graphic designer. I came from like designing campaigns right now, 25 calendars right now, and to just making my way to this space.
Okay.
So like, and it started out like, it's one of the things that I hope, I love it, but I love music more. And unfortunately, like, at least in this Kenyan context, not everyone has been able to make this a living for them.
True.
So this is me. One of the things I desire, at least, like, that someday, somehow, I would make this into, like, because imagine that I'm doing all this and I'm working. Yeah?
True.
And then I record myself, and then I write songs, and then I mix them, and then I put them out.
So the only thing you're not doing is making videos.
Yeah, because, like, there's so many layers to that. I'm not making videos, there's so many layers. There's a financial layer, there is, like, creative, whatever I want to achieve, and then there's the fear part, and then there's, like, insecurities and stuff like that, and then there's, like, not laziness. There's so many things. It's not.
So is there a time that Flier doesn't overthink?
It's unfortunately it's a gift. It's a gift, and I do that a lot.
Okay.
I self-sabotage and I procrastinate, and like every artist does.
So, for example, there's one. Okay, so I love two projects. I love the sticky, the one whose name I can't say. Let me read it because I want to say it right. But I love Sticky Venice Fly Paper Trap, and I love The World is Spinning and Everyone's Dizzy. Just because it allows me to hear the versatility and different sounds of you, because I can't say you sing and I can't say you rap. And I feel like your style is, and then it's both, but I guess, how do you describe your style?
It's well, I can answer that like in just one sentence. When I started out, I was a rapper. I did rapping, and I did it very, like, I think I would like to say at a high level.
Okay.
Because that's what I did.
Okay.
That's who I was. It was the character I played. And then after that, I did poetry.
Okay.
And I did it like just the same way I did rap. And then I couldn't sing. Like, my voice would reach a specific whatever level and just screech. But I fell in love with singing because I saw, like, I didn't want to be like a 40-year-old rapper.
Okay.
So and I saw, like, you could sing for, like, you know, the Beatles, like Paul McCartney. These guys are old and they're singing Rolling Stone and stuff like that. And so I saw, like, okay, I can do this when I'm older. So, and then I started singing. And then my singing style, my writing style, I sing like a rapper. Yeah. Because I write music like raps. So that became my style.
What is dope about you is that you don't have, your music doesn't sound like it has influences, in the sense like it doesn't sound like anyone else. And I feel like that's what's dope. But I guess who do you listen to?
So I listen to a lot of, like, underground music. I'm still into, like, finding new artists. Okay. I listen, like, whether it's UK, and you get a high from finding new artists, and once everyone discovers them, you just start from them. And I used to do that, and then I started listening to myself more, in terms of, like, because I noticed that if I listen to people, I pick up certain things from them. So I started just focusing on, so I find myself listening to myself more because I mix my own music. Yeah. So you listen to it over and over again.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. You need to taking notes, or I need to work on the bass. I need to work on this ad lib. I need to do the de-essing on this. So I listen to myself more and find out like I'm imitating myself. So, but outside of that, I listen to a lot of rap music.
Okay.
I was just listening to Eminem yesterday.
Okay.
Listening to the whole
Then
thing.
have you listened to the new project?
That's what I was listening
Okay.
to. So, and then it fell apart for me at Evil and the Devil and the Antichrist. Like very harsh names, you know. I think he's trying to provoke and get an emotion and stuff like that. But the album itself, I felt like it fell apart. Maybe it was the first listen and stuff like that. But it started out on a like that old "Hi, my name is Eminem" kind of.
So I think that's I think he was trying to tap into the old Eminem energy.
Yeah, no, because I was excited.
Okay.
Because it was like renegade Eminem.
Yeah.
Eminem. Yeah. So, but yeah, I listened to that. I listened to Black Milk. I listened to Odyssey. I listened to Shadrach Kabango. I listened to like a ton of underground, just rap.
So I guess I'm curious, at what point did you start producing? Because you talked about doing poetry, you've talked about being in a group, doing rap, but I feel like I get now the visuals, because I'm assuming all of these visuals in terms of the cover arts, you're making them yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do. Mm-hmm. So it allows you to just add, you're just adding, you know, whatever you're doing to now what you do.
Yeah.
But then the production is what's even more impressive. Like when I learned that you're producing it yourself, it's even more impressive because, you know, you're writing this, you're producing this, you're mixing it. So it's like, when did you figure out, or when did you decide you want to start producing? Because that changes everything.
Yeah, because when I started...
Because that's when you know you're the shit. Because then at that point you can...
You don't, because like the good thing about Kenya right now is like so many talented people. So yeah, whatever you think like you're that, you get slapped back into reality. Like, I have to.
But that's
I have to get better. I have to whatever. Like so, but it started out as I used to go to studios. Yeah, back in the days, you would first need you had. Eminem did on 8 Mile Road. Eminem was a track, 8 Mile Road. And he had a line saying that I already have the beat. All I need is the rhymes. And I couldn't understand that back then because we would first go. We'd write the song, and then find a producer and then get a beat. So back in the days, we used to find a producer first. You have to go find a producer, and most of the times, the producer is disconnected from the studio. So you get a guy who does beats, and then you now try and find a studio to book a studio, and I'll record this for 4,000 for the beat and 4,000 for the mixing and whatever. So I grew tired of that. I started making beats. And the beats weren't nice at first, and my friends would make fun of me, and I would just keep at it.
Because they were different?
Because they weren't really different, because at that time when I started out, I was trying to imitate.
Okay, so what did they sound like, the beats?
We were rapping, so it was just like Redman, Method Man, like type of whatever things. We were trying to imitate those early on producers. Like, so it was like really different from whatever I was trying to imitate. Okay. Yeah, so it was out of like the necessity.
What year is this, would you say?
This is like 17 years ago, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. So I just threw a number. It's crazy when you try and add it up. It doesn't match. But yeah, it's that long ago. Okay. Yeah. So making beats for me came as I'm tired of going here. There was one time we went all the way to Isili to find a producer. And the producer was under like a staircase or something. There was no window.
Was there a door at least?
There was a door, like, and once it closes, you just belt inside the whole thing. Okay. So I was tired, like, hey, I need to figure out Fruity Loops. How do I do this? And started on from there. And I would make beats, and then I couldn't record, and then I couldn't mix. Mixing is the hardest thing to do. True. Just to get the level straight.
To make sure it sounds good. Like, you can easily record yourself and make beats, but then getting them to sound good.
Yeah, I'm making beats. I got tonight is out of that. There was one time just my ears just popped and they kept ringing since then, you know. And then after a while, it's crazy, like human beings, you can adjust. So I can't hear it now, but
it's there.
It's there
Okay.
because I've learned to live with it. So yeah, guys, it has to pay at some point. This music thing that we do.
So how long would you say you've been doing it?
I can't even track it from as long as back in high school, back in primary.
So let me ask you something. We, meaning me and the ones who are listening now, we know Flier.
Yeah.
People who know you, who do they know?
A very stubborn man.
Like in the, not even like personal life,
Okay.
but like people who know you musically.
For those who are listening and know me, I'm glad that they got to hear me say that. I know I'm stubborn.
Okay.
But what you're asking about?
But I'm saying like if someone has known you since you've been growing up,
Yeah.
do they know you as Flier or do they know you as different? Like you see this, like I'm confused or thinking
Yeah.
the other personas you've been or the other roles you've played. Was it different names?
Yeah, I was in a group. We were with a guy, TJ. We were the Bandits.
Okay.
And we would do hardcore rap.
Okay.
So do that. But
So what was your name in the group? Did you have a name in the group?
I had names in the group. I can't remember, and I don't want to say it. So guys can go Google whatever I was.
Okay.
But one thing that's been consistent in my life is I've always been like into art.
Okay. Because you also have the
and
Flying
music.
Radio. So
Yes,
like
I did, yeah.
that's your label. Like everything you drop is under Flying
Yeah,
Radio.
because at some point I tried doing something with a few guys, and we had that name, and just it was like
It's a really dope name.
it is. I came up with it.
Yeah, it's
And
a really dope
guys
name.
Didn't understand that name at that time.
No, I love the name because I'm like
Yeah, it was exactly. It was just trying to be like doing things that are not necessarily meant to appeal to the radio setting, because human beings are not made to listen to music in at a rate in which like they listen to it nowadays. When you do this, like we appreciate playlists and everyone who does it, but there's a consistency right now that is like the frequency is really crazy right now. So if you do that to music, like you do that to phones and you do that to like fashion, fast fashion and stuff like that, it gets to a point where it loses meaning.
because people listen to music so quickly. Like we listen to the album and then we're done.
Exactly.
So it's like there's no. It's so easy to consume. So you consume so much of it.
Yeah.
So you don't value it like, you know, the way you used to wait for
Exactly.
months to get something.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to the store, get the CD.
Yeah.
Now it's just you consume it, you're done. Okay, I like it, I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know.
Unfortunately, you know, we can't turn back. We are past that stage. This is
True.
our new reality. But that name came from that. It was just like, hey, how can I? And it was also like trying to get myself to fix my mind on that. Like, hey, don't do things to fit a specific. Like the Venus Paperfly trap, it threw off my algorithm like for Spotify, because when you add it to guys who are doing specific soundings, whatever that's closer to you,
Yeah.
so you listen to Uchumi Nimbaya, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, nah, there's rap. It distorts the whole thing.
Okay, so let's talk about that
Yeah.
because that's around the time we started talking.
Yeah.
Like that's the time I was trying my dearest to get a Fly interview.
Yeah.
And you randomly like, yo, well, me, I felt special because I felt like Higher was about like life, like I don't know, we're talking about, but then you're right in the sense of, I was trying to get an interview, but then you were saying you were dropping music and you'd want to talk about this new music.
Yeah.
But then what we, and I say me and whoever's here, but like, I fell in love with the Uchumi Nimbaya, and it was that's because, so this was different, and like you're saying, your algorithm, even like people who, it was very different from what kind of, I don't know when you would say you popped, but then it was very different from
What you guys were used to. At that
yes,
time.
but you know, it was what you had given us so far. You had started off. It's what you started off with was
Yeah.
the ex Wako Hawezi,
Yeah.
Uchumi Mbaya, Mr. Zuckerberg. You know, like it was very. It was very with the, it was. So I guess where did this come from?
it came from looking at myself fading away in terms of whatever I wanted to achieve. Because when you look at your stats, you can see what peaks.
Yeah.
I know what peaks.
Yeah.
I know what I need to do to be successful.
Or relevant.
Yeah. If I maintain a specific course, I know like by next year, I can be a big name in terms of, because everything I've created, I have like a ton of anything that you listen to. So whether it's the Chumimba, I have a ton of those. Whether it's Venus Paper, Flier, Trap, whatever, I have a ton of those. And I felt myself like trying to appeal to a specific audience. And I felt like I'm a slave to this. I need to deviate. The funny thing is, I had a guy who wanted to do a video or videos for me, and he was like, "Okay." I was telling him, "Okay, chill. I'm dropping soon. Maybe you can pick from that, whatever, and we can shoot it." And then when I dropped it, it was like he went cold and stuff like that. I later came and said, "You know what? I'm sorry. Walked away. Whatever you dropped was so different from whatever I'm into." So. And I was like, exactly. I'm back on track because like, I just don't want to. I think I'm stubborn like that. I just don't want to do music because music is a way of like me expressing myself.
True.
So if I express myself in the way that, in the only way that I think is going to appeal to you, then I'm not really communicating.
And I understand that now because if you know this is what we like, you can just give us what we like, but you're not expressing yourself.
Yeah.
Because then you're only kind of allowed to express yourself in the way we like.
Yeah.
And now you're being a persona.
I'm being
of
a
what
character.
you're being what we like, and maybe not because the diversity of views what is actually the dopest. But then, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like I'm not like a Buddhist. Like I'm not disciplined. So I am like I am tempted.
If human, you're
I'm tempted to be like the guys, whoever the big names are. And there's a part of me that wants that. There's a part of me that tries to be that. But then again, there's a part of me that's like, okay, I'm losing myself in trying to be all these things. Like, okay, and I get influenced. I have other things. I have rock songs. I have whatever songs. I have like whatever types of songs. And I feel like, okay, I need to let this go. And most of the times I feel like because of whatever I've released, like the Kino Chumimba, Kina X Wako, are keeping me from actually releasing what I want to release. So there are times I'll be like the last song I did was like a jazz song. And it doesn't fit anywhere. This is a new part of me that I've released. I have other jazz songs. Like I can drop.
Yeah.
Now this creates a lane.
So let me ask you something. What if they like the jazz? Do you give them more jazz, or like I guess, or do you just keep experimenting? Or I guess, do you ever settle?
No, I feel like I think wise men have gone before me and they've said like, don't make art for your audience in the sense that they dictate what you make. And I feel like there's some sense in that because once you can aim to hit a specific audience and you think that this is exactly what they'll go for, and then you drop it and then they don't even respond to it the way they did. And now your whole reason for even making that song just crumbles because you made it not to express yourself. You made it so that they can love it. And now they don't even feel it. They just moved on. So yeah, I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yeah. So I'm now wondering, I want to know about life in the sense of there's plans and there's life. And I remember talking to you beginning of the year, very, very beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And I had plans and you had plans and, like there were different plans. But then life's done the thing, life is lifing. What do you think about what's happening in terms of like Mandamano, in terms of music right now, in terms of where we're at just like as a country?
Sorry, I'm thinking about so many things right now. I feel like I posted crazy, my mind is racing.
What happened?
I posted like on Instagram, like, hey, like we in the house and stuff like that. But I posted your photo, and I don't know if guys know me, so they might even think that that's me, you or me. But back to your question and stuff. It's a crazy time. It's a crazy time. I don't think we've ever seen this before.
Because I remember you in the beginning of the year, like, the beginning of the year is always busy for you, but then you were hoping to like drop around April time, blah blah blah. But then like, not even drop it. Like, life's like, like life is just. I don't think anybody was expecting this. I think finance bill, even people who drafted it probably thought it would just go and pass. But then for some reason it flamed up something that was needing to happen. But then it's also like changed plans and things. But I'm wondering, like, you as you, like, what do you think about life and what's happening right now?
I think it's, like I said, like it's a crazy time. I don't even know what to make. There's layers to this, yeah? There's so many layers, and I think we're so far away. Like, I can speak about the government and they can't get to us in time. I'll be gone by the time they get here. Yeah, so it's multi-layered for me. I feel like, obviously, for guys who's been making, someone who's been making political songs in a way, people expect you to say something, or people go back to your catalog and they're like, okay, he said something about this and trying to use your.
We need you right now.
That's one of the things I hear. I don't think, but one of the things for me has been to try and decipher exactly what's going on, what I think about it, and what my role in it is. I feel like early on when it started, there was a lot of groupthink. I didn't want to be swayed by the groupthink. Like, this is the one voice. We are this, and this is what we are saying. Like,
and the weirdest thing for me is that everybody's being described as Gen Z. If you're young, you're Gen Z.
Exactly.
That doesn't make sense, bro. If you're like some people, I'm not a Gen Z, and I'm accepting of that. Like, I'm in terms of in the description of Gen Z, I don't fit the description, but I agree with what these guys are saying. But like, there's people who are 30 with beards and like, you're not a Gen Z, but you're youth, but you're not Gen Z.
Yeah, what that term is equivalent to what conspiracy theory is, why that term was actually invented. When you do that, it's like, I don't sound crazy, but it sounds like flat earther.
What do you mean?
If you have any different view from what we know the earth to be, or what the majority claim the earth is, then you are, no one is going to take time to listen to what your idea is. You're going, you're a flat earther. Put you there so it's easier to manage you. These guys are saying, Gen Z. Even if you're young, even if you fall within that, whatever, you're Gen Z. You believe everything that these guys believe. Yeah. But so for me I feel like there's need, especially now and what we see. And when people say, we need you right now, for me, everything stopped being about music the moment I saw guys' brains get blown off. I saw brains on the pavement. And that's like, there's no point. There's no singing right now. And that doesn't mean anything. That for anyone who has the time to express and convey or like reflect what the culture, what's happening right now, well and good for them. But for me, I felt like this is more than music. I can't go in front of a microphone and start singing about like, whatever. It stops being about music when people die. It stops being about, and I guess it's important. We need music. We need voices. But personally, I have nothing to sing about. I have no melody. I can't harmonize brains or like headshots and like abductions. I can't. I have nothing for you. All I have is like my silence is my resistance.
Can I ask you something random? Like, you've intentionally like not posted yourself, and so like people like me who want to interview you, are we fucking things up? Like, would you rather just the music speak for you, and then I guess like, because like the music is amazing, incredible. Like, I guess if you could, would you just make music and not be seen? Or I guess how much of you are you willing to share or comfortable sharing?
Yeah. So I'm not like a Daft Punk or whatever type. I'm not Frank Ocean and stuff like that. So I don't mind attention and stuff like that. But I'm not willing to be anyone's puppet or clown.
Okay.
So I feel like social media right now and its model is everyone for you to beat the algorithm or for you, and it pays for guys who've actually mastered it. But I feel like every musician, someone said this. Who said this? I think it's Schoolboy Q. Yeah, he was talking about like musicians right now are like content creators. You just have to do it. Also, guys, this is where I'm at, whatever, to get people to listen.
Yeah.
My personality isn't that. I don't like photos. I don't like whatever. So I'm giving you exactly who I am. So I don't mind. We can have a conversation, but I'm not going to play that game and stuff like that. Whoever listens.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm speaking like this. And like I said, I'm human at the end of the day. There's a part of me that wants that. Yeah. There's a part of me that craves that. Yeah. And I try to the best of my ability because people are listening to this. So you actually need to, you actually need to communicate with them and stuff like that. I'm not Beyonce, like, okay, here you go, like, here's my album, listen to it, blow it up and stuff. But yeah, I'm willing to do this to a place, to take it as far as I'm comfortable with it. Yeah.
Considering like you being a private person and like how vulnerable you are in your music, who do you play it for before you release it? Like whose feedback matters? Like in the sense of course you're putting it out there, but like before you put it out there, because you see like in a normal scenario, if you're in the studio, there'd be a producer or an engineer or even a homie who heard it. Yeah. But in your scenario, what's the environment when you're making music? Are you in your crib? Are you going on like a ride? Like, I guess, who's checking you? But like not checking you to check you, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So early on when I started, I was sending all my stuff to my bro.
Okay. You have a sibling?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and he would be like, he's into music, but he's more into the sound. And he would be like, you need more bass and you need more like whatever. Do something, adjust the voice.
Was it helpful, that information he was giving you?
It was.
Okay.
But also I was doing it because I was not confident enough to put it out. And then I just stopped and I just started putting it out. So since then I don't play it to anyone. If it like sucks, it sucks. I've said what I needed to say and I'll whatever. And I went through that whole phase of taking music out, so there's certain music like I released and it's no longer there. Yeah. But it was intentional because I didn't like the sound. When you listen to your own music, like it's like listening to your own recording. You sound different. Yeah. And sometimes you cringe over certain things, and that's what I did, and that's why I took music out. But nowadays I just make music, listen to it over and over again, adjust what I need to adjust, and put it out. I have a specific sound that I don't feel like I need to be crispy clean. And in the ones that have been crispy clean, it's intended for that purpose. It's like for that genre. Okay.
So if you're not playing the game, I guess, what's the goal for you with music?
My goal is to like hopefully maintain the same level of excitement. The thing I picked up from Eminem yesterday, and I'm dropping it, like I don't listen to Eminem that often. I just have select favorites from his catalog and stuff like that. But what I picked up, it was because I listened to it because it was like everyone was talking about it. And what I picked up after all that, even from the songs I didn't like, I was like, this guy is how many years in? And he's just like a baby at this. He's like so excited. And he rhymes everything. He's like so into this. And that's the one thing I want to be like in terms of like into this. Find like my main thing, even with political songs and stuff like that, I've been trying to find a clever way to do political songs. So I'm always trying to make the best revolutionary song that's not outright like whatever. That's like, feel like it's okay, but it's lazy. Like, how can you make this exciting? How can I write the same song over and over again and make it different? So like I'm into that right now. So that's the goal. I feel like my goal is to be like in my 40s and still be doing it. Like when you look at Common, when you look at Black Thought, when you look at those guys, and guys have been like in it for a long time and they're still at that same level, like top tier lyricists and artists. I feel like I just want to get better. I want to make better songs, like even make better and also try and defeat the playlist in terms of like, even when I made Chandarana, I have a song called Chandarana. The whole point was to just break through the normal song format. Yeah, so that's me just trying to chat.
Because Chandarana was different.
Yeah, it's different, and it also breaks down in 3 parts. Like it's like 4 parts. It's like 4 songs
in one.
But without losing the consistency of like, yeah, without it sounding off. That's the thing.
So I guess would you do? Okay, I guess you, and like considering what you know, what you have made already, what more this year or in the future? What flyer are we gonna get? Because I can't even guess. Like, do you know what flyer we're gonna get?
Yeah, I have songs that I have a whole rap album. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's still themed. It talks about it's me as a samurai and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it has a lot of people dying, and the people are dying right now. So I can't release it.
Okay.
Because I'm talking about death and chopping people's heads off, and it sounds like very tone deaf.
So are you into anime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So also that's me like expressing myself in a way that I can't do through singing. It's like, hey, and the other rap song album I did, it was supposed to be a full length album and stuff, but I lost songs, and certain songs on that EP aren't mixed because I lost the stems.
Okay.
So I just felt like I've put in work in this, let me just release it. So the certain songs are mixed, and when you get to Dolo and then all the way down, I haven't mixed those songs. So I have songs, like, I just don't know. With everything that's going on, I don't even know if music is necessary right now. Because again...
What do you mean? You were just listening to music yesterday. It's very necessary.
No, I'm saying it is, music is necessary. But I'm saying in terms of like, we already have a lot of music. So we're also chasing this... algorithm where we're like, we have to release music every single Friday.
Okay.
So when I say music is necessary, it is necessary. I'm saying if new music is necessary, because there's certain things I release that guys don't even know, like what I'm saying in the tracks, or you can just skim through it, or you can just skip it because it doesn't sound like the rest of the other songs. But there's certain nuggets in those other songs that I'm talking about. Like when you talk about Good Time, if you listen to Good Time has nothing to do with Good Time. It's not a party song. It's like everything about that song is like a political song. It's very rebellious. It's just everything. It's just playing on a Afrobeat track.
Okay.
Yeah.
With Flier, we never seen a collaboration.
Yeah.
Have you ever collaborated with anyone? Are we ever gonna
with musicians, but not like artists and stuff like that. So. Yeah.
So does Fly ever collaborate with an artist?
No. It's also proximity. You know, like we have to be intentional. I have collabos. Like I'm having conversations about talking to other artists about, but also that's like a relationship that's building. So it's not like, hey, I like your stuff, send me a verse and stuff like that. I don't want to work like that.
Okay.
So
if someone said, yo, I have this song, can you do a verse on it? You're not doing that?
It's it's not that. You have to meet at some space, yeah.
Okay, if Jason Derulo or like like Sophia Nzao, like some of these songs, I'm sure she's not doing like a link up with, like if someone said, if Drake sent you, I need the V. Well, I would do not give a fuck if I ever see Drizzy, but if I got the V on the next Drizzy album,
the thing is, for me, it's like, crazy. It sounds crazy right now.
Even Burna Boy. Okay,
let me tell you something about like
Beyonce. Like,
okay, you name 2 artists that I don't mess with. I've never been into Drake.
Okay,
but like never been into Drake.
But
never been into
okay.
Beyonce. That sounds blasphemous.
Okay,
I've never been into like whatever. So for me, it starts with I won't do anything just for the light.
Okay.
If I don't mess with you, I don't mess with you. It's okay. You know, God is there. Like I'm gonna get what's mine. So it starts with, can I know who you are? You know.
Okay.
And then we can, because we have to do. Most likely, we'll end up. Our lives are tied at this point. Yeah.
If we do a song together.
If we do a song together, in the sense that.
So you're saying like if you do a song, someone's like it's like having a kid with someone.
No. It's not that. It's like. It's not, songs are not that simple. It's not like it's what is it like? It's like
bro, I could give a verse to anyone. Like, or even if I meet you on the road, here's a V, I'll give you a V.
Yeah, it's principles and stuff like that, I guess. You know?
You wouldn't give a random verse. Like if someone said, okay, let's say you were broke. Someone said random verse 50K.
Let me tell you why I say lives are tied, in terms of like, because it's going to be part of your, like, you're going to be tied with this guy even in the playlist stuff, in terms of like Spotify, like regularly listen to whatever stuff, and I have to like what you're doing. That basically summarize it in that sense. Like I have to like what you're doing, so I'm not just going to give you a verse and stuff like that. My verse is nothing. You can get a verse from anyone.
Yeah.
If you want a verse from me, like I have to like what you're doing. I have to like you as a person.
Okay.
And then we have to vibe, and then we have to do the song together. So it's not like. I don't care about money. Like in terms of, I'm not rich, but I don't care about money. Like I can get money anywhere.
Okay.
So I'm not just do this, just give me a verse, whatever. I don't like that.
So in this day and age of the internet, where guys collaborate like that a lot, you're not gonna do that.
It just depends on the time and stuff like that. You know, obviously you have to embrace the fact that we are living in this world where you can meet people without meeting them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have to talk like, what's your intention? What's your goal for this song? Like that's how I think, because that's how I think. I don't when I release a song, there's an intention. So I'm not going to sing about shaking butts.
Okay.
That's not me. I'm not going to sing about getting wasted. That's not me. So if that's what you want to do, then that's what I'm saying. We can't vibe, because that's not my intention. I don't want to put that out there.
Okay.
This life is so short. We're not going to be here that long. So I don't want whatever is left of me to be like. So
you're very intentional about your music.
Yeah, exactly. So when I'm dead, I don't want to leave anything behind that is like doesn't do anything for the society in my perspective.
Okay.
Whether it's giving joy to someone, or just comforting someone, or like making someone happy, or like, that's why I would do jokes in the songs and stuff like that, so that I can create something. And this is not a knock on anyone who does whatever. We need both, this and that. Yeah. So I'm just saying I'm not that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like you could do your thing on like a album tone beat. You don't have to sing about the content, because like your content's always gonna be different. But like genre wise, I feel like you don't also stick to any genre.
Yeah. No, I guess my genre is my style, so it kind of sounds the same if you listen to it, really. So because I have a specific formula, so whatever the track is, the genre is the voice, is you.
Okay.
And I think I'm gonna try. I'm trying to, because I'm confusing the hell out of my listeners at some point. If you are just, for anyone who discovers me, like someone I got like a tag today on Instagram. Oh, I just discovered you, and that guy, it's a chick, sorry. They were referencing Uchumi Nimbaya. They were saying it's amazing.
Yeah.
I was just thinking in my head, I can't wait until you go to my catalog.
Everything else, yeah.
And find out how crazy it is, because you don't know. Maybe you're just expecting that sound. Yeah. So I don't know. At the end of the day, I think I'm also confusing people, but whoever. I'm trying to build true fans and true guys who just mess with that. So if you just mess with the craziness, then...
So what happens to the person who falls in love with Uchumi Mbaya and then finds this whole other world?
Yeah.
Do you... Like... I guess, like... What do you tell them? Is there more, like... Is there more Uchumi Mbaya? Is there more Uchumi Mbaya to come for them? Is there more Uchumi Mbaya? Is there more Uchumi Mbaya in the future? Yeah. Or should they expect the unexpected? I guess this was out, but then the future too is what I guess I'm thinking about.
Yeah. I've tried with that to also create this less so
series.
So
which has Vijana Wanataka Kazi,
Yeah.
which is one of the best records
Yeah.
ever. Like that
Mhm.
shit hits home every like if you, I probably listen to that song every single day and same, you know.
Okay.
It's like
Thanks,
replay value is heavy on that shit.
Thanks. Man.
Yeah.
So I lost the stems to that track as well. That track isn't mixed.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not mastered, not to the whatever thing. Yeah. So I create that for the guys who like that sound.
Mhm.
So anytime they can see that lesser thing, they know that okay, that's what you need to expect.
Okay.
But for the rest of them, it's like I'm so unpredictable that I'm predictable. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can actually depend on the fact that I'm just going to do whatever and don't expect no specific sound.
Okay.
And you don't. It's like art reflects life. You don't have to like everything that I do.
Mm.
I don't like everything that I do.
Mm.
Like I'm different.
Mm.
I have weaknesses and I have stuff like that. So also like you don't have to. Not every track is going to be like a club track or banger or stuff like that. It's just going to be me.
I have two questions I'm scared to ask, but I want to ask.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take on religion? Are you religious? Do you believe in religion? Like, what's your? My question is religion ? What is it?
Yeah, it's a loaded question because religion is like really. The Bible says like the true religion is like actual things that you do, that you watch after the widow and you take care. I think of the orphan and stuff like that. So religion is not what we've made it to be.
Mm.
So yeah, if you're asking if I believe in God, I do.
Mm.
If I believe in religion, I don't.
Okay.
But because religion is a man-made thing, but there is a true religion, like that is like we don't see it right now. What we have is a subculture, if for lack of a better word. It's a thing within a thing that is not the actual thing. So we've made it. We have made symbols and signs. Like that's what I talk about. Like the world is spinning.
I love that record.
We're living in like a simulation. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say there. It's like some.
I'm sorry about the mosquitoes. They're
No,
killing
it's
you.
okay. We're friends. Yeah. So that's the thing. Yes, I believe in God. I believe in life after death. I believe in. You don't even have to think deep. Like the fact that we are all going to die is already something that is like sobering enough. So whether there's a here and after, it's for anyone to, it's for everyone to just make peace with themselves and figure that thing out. Yes, yeah. For me, I do that.
My other question was, do you have any vices? You seem like a very principled, disciplined guy. I can't imagine what vices you have.
Gosh, I am so stubborn. And I am addicted to tea. I'm addicted to bread, and I'm trying to fight it. And I'm trying to fight those two things.
Tea and bread.
Oh my gosh.
And stubborn. But I feel like stubborn is good for you because I feel like you being stubborn is your thing.
It's not really stubborn. It's opinionated. Like I have an opinion. Like I have something to say. Andre 3K. I have like a point of view, and I feel like I wouldn't compromise on that and that's why the thing when you're asking me about what's going on in Kenya right now, I have my own points of view that differ from the flock, and differ from the majority. I don't like, and one of the things that I was thinking about on my way here, I was like, okay, I don't want to say anything that's going to piss off like the movement because I feel a way about everything that's happening. I don't like it, and I don't like it. I feel like, yeah.
But you've never said that you don't like it, so nobody would know you don't like it.
Yeah, because what's my opinion? It's my opinion. I'm talking to 5 people. Like, what can I say? But I talk to people around me. Yeah, and most of it I keep to myself.
Okay.
But I don't like where the country is going. I don't like.
People here agree with you. That they agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, but am I saying what you're saying? You see, that's
we're not here for that. Like, I'm not here to say I can never speak like you, and I can never, and like that's the good thing about individuality and even freedom of speech. To the point where we're at, it's like we don't like the president, and we're saying we don't like the president, and some people like the president. They're saying they like the president. So it's like we're all allowed to have our opinions.
Yes, true.
You know,
Just saying, yeah.
like everybody's allowed to have their opinion.
Yeah.
And you know, like Mamito said something, like people in social media, everybody's going to say their
It's
opinion.
a dangerous time we're living in. Not everyone needs to have an opinion. Some people need to like put their phones away and stuff.
But you know, opinions is what got us started in the right direction. But now I don't know what direction we're headed in.
Sorry, my opinion?
No, opinions in general got us headed in the right direction in the sense of people talking and speaking about stuff. You know, like, we can't do the same shit where... Me, I'm always gassed when niggas are talking deep shit on songs. I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, before we weren't allowed to say shit like, you know.
Yeah.
But, like, I love that people are openly saying whatever.
Yeah.
And you can disagree with them, which is okay. But, like, I love that people can say whatever. Like, I mean, you could get abducted. It's a new thing. But, like, fuck it. Like, I feel like I'd rather say what my opinion is personally.
Is getting abducted a new thing, you think? If you say yes.
A new thing that we're seeing.
Okay.
A new thing we're seeing.
What do you think happened to Miguna?
But we saw what happened.
Is that recent? What do you mean? When he went, he's the famous one.
When they gave him a trip back to Canada.
What did they call it? Like it's not incognito. Something. Okay, yeah. When that happened, that wasn't long ago. Or is that recent? Or was it a long time ago? Abductions have been going on in Kenya for a long time.
True.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
But like I'm saying we're seeing abductions.
Yeah,
like they're pulling up to your house. They don't care if you have CCTV and taking you. Like, but you see the problem is there's people you don't see getting abducted, and they still are getting abducted. This is what you're saying. Like, it's not a new thing. I'm sure there's someone somewhere in Nyeri or somewhere out there. The feds are fucking with them for whatever reason.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I feel like I can't wait for us to like awaken to what's really happening, because I feel like that's...
So the only good news I heard was my homie was telling me he went to Huduma Center, and at Huduma Center they have an IBC desk and you can register to vote, because I think at the end of the day we're talking about politics, whether we want to talk about it or not. The Kenyan youth are politically engaged at the moment. Yeah. And if we can translate that to change at the ballot, then we're set. But if people don't register to vote and they don't vote and they just tweet, then we're fucked. Yeah.
That's where, like, also, like, I'm fighting to not talk about that, because, like, that's one level that's kind of sounds like the answer. It sounds logical. Like, yeah, it sounds like rational. It sounds like voting is the answer, right? Like, it's you just register to vote, and but it's like it's more. That's what I was saying. It's multi-layered. And I'm saying, like, I don't think that we actually know what's happening, because we are fighting the wrong people and we're occupying the wrong buildings, in my opinion. Because, like, we're looking at things like, because there's another layer to this entire thing, which what the fight is happening right now is good and it's needed. And I don't want to be like a different voice just for the sake of being different. It's needed. And the guys who've died, that's what I was saying, like, why I can't do that to just disrespect. I just need to, it's a moment of silence.
It's lives lost.
It's like, it's lives lost. Like, this guy, whatever, these things are happening and stuff like that. But we're looking at the IMF. Like, they're a silent partner in this whole thing, and I need to stop talking about that. Yeah, we're talking about there's another layer that also needs to be addressed, because once you take this guy out, then what? And then what? It sounds like you're saying he stays. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, he's not acting by himself.
Okay.
He's not. These are not.
So let me ask you something. Your music, the way it makes us feel, the way it speaks for what's happening. I feel like if that's how you're expressing yourself and how you're able to, I guess, explain these thoughts and ideas you have. Do you fear for a time where, like, you can't separate the two? Like, the music, I guess, could it ideally, like, no one's ever seen you, but then I guess could you Like, what if the music becomes too big? Or is there such a thing as too big? What if it's like it becomes, yeah?
I think the too big part, unless we get to that place in Kenya, maybe it can happen. But the too big part, I think I'm prolonging that. Like, there's another line by Papoose a long time ago. They said, like, I could have come sooner, but you consumers could only envision me in your future. Like, I would have made it, like, in terms if I'm not sticking to the plan. It's very simple.
Like, if you could get signed and do the,
no, it's not even.
Like, I'm saying if you let's say got signed to a Soul Generation and made Soul Generation kind of music, you'd be on mainstream.
Yeah, because the thing about, if I'm on mainstream and I keep doing whatever I'm doing, I can't stay on mainstream too long. Not because of the content, it's because of the format.
It changes.
The thing about it is, you do not confuse, for the mainstream, the law is simple. Do not confuse the consumer. Give them exactly what they expect. If you're making masala fries, if I'm coming to you for masala fries, don't give me ugali. I just want masala fries. I'm craving for that. So I keep on skipping that format. If I want to be successful, I need to stick to the format so that I can fit to the playlist. I can fit in the spaces that I need to be in. So I'm making it difficult for fate to put me in where I want to be. And I'm aware of that.
So you could go and do a whole jazz and confuse us even more, or do a whole rock and confuse us.
But I'm not doing it intentionally to just be stubborn in terms of, like, I do music, because I make my own music, and that's the thing. If I had a producer who just sends me tracks and these all sound the same, do this, and I would do it. I've seen artists, like, and whatever I'm doing is not special. Everyone can do this, but they've figured out a plan. When you listen to this guy, he's going to give you the exact same thing. And that's the key to, like, a hit. That's the key to, like, a successful career, I think, in my opinion. When you look at, because apart from that, I also study music and I study sounds and stuff like that. And that's the one key thing that ties it all. When you talk about the Beatles, you talk about Chronics, there's a sound. And people go to them for that sound. They don't go to them specifically for the content. They go to them for the mood that they will put them in. Yeah.
Okay. I guess I want to know. It's 2024 right now.
Yeah.
You were very active. 2020. I guess at the beginning of the year you were dropping a lot of music, but now we're talking about not really dropping music, but observing.
Yeah.
So I guess if you're not dropping music, can we see you perform?
Yeah, that's one of the things we've been talking about. That's one of the things I want to...
Would you feel okay doing that?
No, I'm okay with... I've always been okay with that. It's just, for me, it's also the pressure of not having done it on a public level is also like the pressure...
Is there any stage fright at all?
There's no stage fright per se. It's just that I don't want to bum in terms of, I don't want to give you something that's subpar. I don't want to now, like, we want a show and then just do it, and then I come there and everything is screeching, the sound isn't right and all that. So that's always been that thing. So again, there are so many layers to that, but yeah, the main thing is, like, can we do it right? Can we do it for the sake of, like, the art and make it sound, give the people what they want to hear? Because I have concepts, I have crazy concepts that I don't think have been done, even in live performance and stuff like that. I have other versions of the same song that I would like to do, but I just want to do it right.
Okay.
Yeah.
My final question for you is, who in the Kenyan industry would you say you'd look up to, or even, like, a fan of?
Yeah. So a ton of them, yeah. I would say... specifically, I even told this guy, like, just a band, because of what they did for me as well. Blinky Bill, and not only for what he did and what he continues to do. When I was struggling, trying to figure out, they birthed, I feel like, this rebellion in me, because I've always been me, but at some point I tried to play the radio game. I tried to morph into other people, and then you would hear these guys from the left sounding left, what's this? And for me, what that symbolized, what that sparked in me is like, oh, guys can listen. Guys actually listen to this. I do this. So I don't have to do this. I don't have to play this, whatever. So that, yeah, and a ton of other people, yeah. So like, I'm choosing that specifically for what it did, and also like, I'm hoping like anyone who's for my music and you're doing music and you come to my page and whatever I've done, I feel like the key thing I want you to pick from me is like, you don't have to be one thing. You can be your exact true self, and guys are going to listen to it. And the thing about it, when we were doing rap back in the days, guys would tell us, Kenyans are not ready for this. This is not what Kenyans
Till
want.
Kamula came.
Yeah, exactly.
Till Kamula came.
And it showed them, and they were doing it. I was like, this is what we're doing. and it just, and at that time you're doing that, and then you're tied to this crappy sound. You're trying to break into the industry, doing an imitation of yourself.
Yeah.
And
in life, I think until you're yourself, you'll never make it.
Yeah.
Until you're authentic, it's very hard to be successful trying to be someone else or trying to imitate. Like, you can't be Eminem. Like, no white rapper can be Eminem. And Jack Harlow's Jack Harlow, Eminem's Eminem. The same way Flier is Flier and Chris Kaiga's Chris Kaiga and, Chronix, whoever is, but like, there's only one Flier.
Yeah.
And if Flier was like Boutros, you wouldn't,
Yeah.
It wouldn't be Flier.
Yeah. Everyone is needed. I don't also want to be like, the underground rappers were like, I'm the purist. No, all the voices are needed. That's what, like, even with the Kenyan thing, like, all the voices are needed. I was afraid early on because of my thoughts and whatever were radical, and I had fears of like being abducted and stuff like that because of what I wanted to say and stuff like that. So I have nothing but respect for the guys who went to town and the guys who've been making noise about this entire thing and speaking up and stuff like that. That's crazy. So everyone is needed, and also, and
like you said, bro, seeing brains on the ground, whether it's in the newspaper
that's
or
the
in
end game. That's for
it
me.
changes. Like that's a life.
There's no talking.
And that could be you. Actually, that could be you.
Someone went to get, I think in Kitengela, he went. The story was he went to get meds, yeah, and then he was shot in the head, and we saw the last minute of his life on a CCTV footage.
Yeah,
just squirming on the ground. There's no songs after that. Something, that's the thing. So all the voices are needed. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess not about what's going on in the country, but about just Flier. I guess as we wrap up, if there's a fan of Flier out there, what do you want to say to them?
I would say, it sounds crazy, thank you for listening. I say that all the time because it means the whole, this I'm doing it for you, man. I'm giving my life to this thing for anyone who is willing to listen, anyone who's willing to just take a ride. I appreciate everyone who's added me to their playlists and anyone who's recommended me to their friends, anyone who's shared my music. That's the only reason, I'm leaving. I'm not getting paid from this. So I'm leaving for that moment where someone is going to resonate with the things that I put out. So, yeah, thank you.
And that was our interview with Flier. Good night.